So this video is going to cover how you can send 10,000 cold emails every single day for your agency. This is one of the most effective ways, in my opinion, to get to a couple $1 million in revenue a year for your agency once you really nail your cold outreach system. And so I'm going to show you how we go about setting up this system to send 10,000 cold emails a day. And for context, my name is Nicholas. I'm the founder at ScaleSprint. We're an instantly certified expert. That's the largest dedicated cold email tool in the world. So we've created hundreds of campaigns for agencies, and we know exactly what works. And so this video is going to cover the step-by-step that you need to go through in order to set up and run this system here to send 10,000 cold emails every single day. Now, some of the stuff here is going to redirect to other videos, especially some of the technical stuff, but I'm going to give you the high-level stuff that you need to know and exactly what you need to do, the step-by-step to get this started. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing you want to do is set up your sending tool. I recommend Instantly here. I recommended them long before I became a partner with them. So this is definitely my favorite tool and has been for a while. Now, you want to set up Instantly, the software here. And if you want to just get started pretty quickly, what you can do is you can set up all your email accounts that you're going to need for your sending via their done for you email setup. So when you go on Instantly, you buy their hypergrowth plan, you can go to the add accounts, and then you can do this done for you email setup. There will be basically instructions about how you can set up these email addresses. And then you can take these email addresses and you can allocate them to a specific campaign, and then you can start sending. So this is the easiest, most straightforward way to start sending emails. Now, if you want to send 10,000 emails per day, it's going to be a little bit expensive with this setup here, but it could still make a lot of sense in terms of return on investment. We do have a vendor that we use for all our clients here at ScaleSprints that I'm going to gatekeep for our actual clients. But there are ways to do it cheaper, but this is like the fastest and most ideal way to set it up if you're just looking for speed and you don't really care about optimizing costs too much, at least for now. So if you want to see how you should set up instantly.ai, basically how you structure the campaigns, all the settings, etc., I do have a video on my channel for that, about how all of that stuff works. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to set up your campaigns, and I recommend that you just keep it simple to start with. So the first framework that you can do for your copywriting is what, why, how, proof, CTA, and the second one is proof, what, why, how, CTA. And so the what here basically means like, what is this? What are you offering? The why is why are you offering it, right? It might be that, teams typically have this and this issue, right? So that's the why. And then the how is how you actually do it. This is where you can mention some sort of unique mechanism or something that makes you special. And then the proof, kind of self-explanatory. You want to mention case studies, etc. And then the call to action, I typically recommend, if you have a really good offer, you can go with a direct call to action, so you can just literally pitch the call right away. If you don't have an offer that is as attractive or as much of a no-brainer, or you have a lot of competition, then you can do basically a lead magnet call to action or an interest-based call to action, which are more soft call to actions. It's easier to say yes to. And so then you can basically get the positive responses and then start nurturing them with follow-ups over time. This is a more effective way to do it than going in with a very hard call to action. The second framework here, again, we just kind of switch it around. So we start with the proof. We see if the proof serves as a better hook than the what. And then, you just do the same thing here. So these are two things that I would test initially for the copywriting. So if we have an example here, I'm going to actually go ahead and write them out here. So let's go with an example that I typically use. So you're a YouTube agency and you're doing $50,000 a month in revenue, and you're looking to set up your outbound system. So in this case, we would start with the what, why, how. So this could be, we help, maybe we can just start with hi name. We help XYZ industry set up their YouTube channel to attract 45 new clients per month. And the why, typically people either don't have a YouTube channel or it is not optimized for client conversion. And then the how, we have a framework for optimizing your YouTube channel that has been proven across 50 plus companies in your industry. Can I send over a quick 2-minute explainer video, maybe personalized explainer video? So this is something I just came up with on the spot here. This is not the best copy, but this sort of illustrates what you want to do, right? First, it's the what. Like, what exactly do you do? Well, we help these guys get 3 to 5 new clients per month. This is very succinct, and immediately they understand the value. And then there's the why. Well, typically people don't have a YouTube channel, or it's not optimized for client conversion. And then here we have a framework. This is the how here. So there's a specific framework that's applied that has been proven. So basically, I'm integrating the proof a bit here in this one, but you could also make another line here after this, which is like a case study. We helped blah 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 blah. So you can just say whatever there. We helped XYZ company do this and this. So this is how you want to sort of think about it. Just keep it simple. Don't worry too much about all this AI personalization stuff. I mean, if you're sending 10,000 emails a day and you have a good offer, and you follow this framework here, it's basically just it's gonna work. So it's as simple as that. As long as you have all your stuff optimized, your deliverability and your offer is not terrible, and so on and so forth, and you're actually responding quickly to people, you have a good follow-up flow, you have a good funnel in general, well, this is going to work. So that is a live example there. Now the next part you want to look into is list building, and I recommend that people start with basically the following framework, where they have segmented lists. So basically, let's say that you're working with an industry and you divide that into sub industries, like different categories of your industry, where you have specific case studies that you can leverage. And so this can be like your segmented campaigns. Then what I also recommend that everyone does is that they create lookalike campaigns. So you can use a tool like Ocean.io, which is extremely accurate. And the way it works is that you basically input domains of companies that you want to find lookalike companies for. So if you have a specific company and you're like, this is the perfect fit, or you have a client and you're like, this is the perfect client, well, you can put their domain into Ocean.io and you can find similar companies. You can get their email addresses and then literally reach out. So it's a super effective way. Like, if you do a lookalike campaign, it's definitely just going to convert. I mean, because if you have good case studies that you can leverage in your lookalike campaigns, it's going to be basically a no-brainer because it's going to be so relevant for the prospect. And then also what you want to do is, in conjunction with those two types of campaigns, you also want to just run a broad campaign. So I have sort of a checklist here, or like a step-by-step. So first you scrape the large list that you get, right? So this is the broad list. Then you use clay.com to find the ones that fit a specific case study you have. And what I mean by that is you upload your list to Clay, you create a custom prompt that basically looks through their websites, and then it determines if they fit a specific niche or like case study that you have. So you can put them into your segmented campaigns. And then obviously for the ones where you don't have a very specific case study, you can just sort of use this broad list. And then 3, you want to funnel those into the segmented campaigns. And then 4, for the rest, it just goes in the large campaigns, and then you run all of this stuff with the Ocean campaign. And when you do these things, when you actually do all of these things at once, then you'll have basically the most optimal list building system for your cold outreach here. Now, the metrics you want to track once you actually start sending your emails are the following. So, email to lead ratio. This is how many emails you have to send to generate a lead, and then the lead to call ratio, which is how many of these leads that you generate that turn into calls, and then you have the percentage of qualified calls. These are going to be the metrics that you want to track very meticulously. Now, I'm going to mention a few different things here that you want to sort of think about that actually plays into getting good KPIs on these 3 metrics here. So the first one, email to lead ratio. Typically, if this is bad, the first thing you want to look at is it email deliverability related? So if there are any lingering email deliverability issues that make you land in spam, well, that can diminish your email to lead ratio. Another one is having a call to action that is too harsh, right? If you're sending a super short email and then you pitch this like 45-minute call, you're not going to get a very good email to lead ratio. So you want to sort of look at deliverability, then you want to look at your call to action, and then you want to look at your offer as well. So is there any way you can change your offer? Can you do an intro offer instead of pitching your main service, and so on and so forth? So you want to think these things through, make it more easy to say yes to, either with a better offer, a better call to action, or you want to look at your email deliverability. The next one, lead to call ratio. Typically what I see there is that if you're generating leads but they're not booking calls, it's typically because you don't have a good follow-up flow. That is oftentimes what's going on, because you really do need to follow up with people very meticulously. And that's why we here at ScaleSprint, we have our 90-day follow-up plan, which is a multi-channel follow-up flow we do for all the leads that we generate, which has significantly increased the amount of calls we book. So that's something you want to look into. And then the percentage of qualified calls. If you're getting a lot of unqualified calls, The first thing you can do is you can look at your list and see if there's something wrong with your list, which could very easily be the case. And you want to try and fix that. Now, if the list looks fine and the calls are just unqualified for whatever reason, well, then you can start actually putting them through a Typeform questionnaire. And that's something that ideally you wouldn't want to do because it creates a bit of friction, but sometimes it's necessary and you just need to do that. So as long as the cost per call makes sense in the holistic picture, there's nothing really wrong with sending them through a Typeform. It's going to save you a lot of time to speak with qualified people instead of all these unqualified leads. So that's definitely something that is worth considering in that case. Now, in terms of how you want to think about this in the long term, you want to use our 2 month TAM recycling system that I've talked about before. And this is basically a system where you want to map out your entire total addressable market. You want to find as many people that fit your ideal customer profile as you can. And then you just want to reach out to every single person once every 2 months with a sequence. So not actually one email, it might be a 3-step sequence, but you want to reach out to every single person with one sequence every 2 months. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to keep you top of mind for literally everyone that fits your ideal customer profile. So this is one of the principles, right? That people gotta know who you are. If they don't know who you are, they can never buy from you. So the whole core philosophy behind this is just making sure people actually know who you are, making sure the people that can send you money and that can actually buy your thing knows who you are. And so nobody is really gonna be too bothered about this. I mean, most people are so busy, they're not really going to sit there and say, oh, this guy sent me 3 sequences this year. Like, people don't really think like that. And even if some people do, it doesn't really matter, because this is going to generate so much revenue if you do this over the long term. So this is how you want to think about it. The good thing is that KPIs stay pretty similar. So even if you like reach out to your entire TAM and then you wait 2 months and you do it again, well, typically the KPIs are going to be the same, because you're just reaching out to these people and they're not going to necessarily remember the last email. So that is how you want to basically think about it. If you need any help with setting up this entire system, I have a video that details the funnel here we use on my website, www.scalesprint.io. And we set this up for agencies. We make sure that everything is completely optimized. We book you 20 to 60 calls a month, and typically our clients close around 20% of those. So this is a highly quality, very effective system. So if you want to talk about that, you can book a meeting with me. And other than that, thanks for watching.